Hi, I'm Shelby Sorensen, and I'm a fifth grade special education teacher. I did my research project on the impact of a token economy on negative behaviors in the special education classroom specifically. The problem statement for my research was that the problems that come along with challenging behaviors in the classroom play a role in many components of student success in the classroom. Some of those may be academic achievements. Students who have behaviors that are getting in the way of their academic achievements can be a challenge because then they aren't getting the learning outcome that they deserve because of the behaviors getting in the way. Another one was parent and teachers not knowing how to handle the problematic behaviors that their student or child is presenting. This can lead to social impact. Students who are presenting problematic behaviors may not thrive in the social setting because of the way that they are behaving. And another one is teachers having appropriate training. When teachers aren't trained appropriately on how to handle the behaviors, this can be a problem and lead to the behavior spiraling out of control or getting to a point that teachers are burnt out or the student is taking advantage of situations. There's a lot of problems that come along with student behaviors, specifically in the special education classroom. For the literature review, I really got to dig into this topic. Students are presenting more challenging behaviors in the classroom than ever before. This was said by Stormont et al. And this is this was the point that I really found myself thinking, wow, it's not just me. This is happening everywhere. And the fact that we're seeing these challenging behaviors in the classroom more than ever before is kind of scary. So I wanted to find out more about it and how I could make a small dent in that. Um, Another thing is that Bear said that parents and teachers are finding themselves not knowing how to resolve the problematic behaviors that their child is presenting. Um, this can be a problem because, like I said, teachers can get burnt out, parents can kind of give up hope, and these are big problems in not being able to help our children. Another thing is that Bolotsky, Scherer et al. Said that negative behaviors are impacting their academic performance. And like I said before, when students aren't achieving academically, we can see declines in their academics as well as their behavior because of the academics. These kind of go hand in hand. When a student is not performing the way that their peers are performing, they may think of themselves as negative. They may look at their education as a negative thing, and that can kind of spiral quickly. Bear also said that social obstacles are set in due to the problematic behaviors, which, like I said, is a big problem that students are not making those peer connections and being seen as outcasts. Um, so, um, the next section I have some things that have been done in the past, behavior charts. Students are monitored on these behavior charts, looking at their problematic behaviors, and they're ranked on a behavior chart. We often see kids carrying around clipboards with a scale on them that the teacher has to fill in. One thing for sure is that sending a child around with a clipboard or a behavior chart to have their behavior monitored by different teachers is kind of just pointing at them and saying, I'm different, which can lead to the social issues again. So, like Hurley said, those behavior charts are something that we use and something that can be beneficial, but oftentimes it's a short term effect. Another thing is the good behavior game. So, the good behavior game is a process used in the classroom to manage behaviors in groups of children, creating kind of a game for students to try to win. One problem with this is that students are working in a group. Oftentimes, the students in the special education classroom have a behavior goal, and these situations can be really challenging. So, making a whole group depend on them can be really defeating for them. Another thing is PBIS. So, this is a school wide behavior intervention system used to provide redirection in student behavior um, and support students as they need. This can be really great if used in the school system. However, it's one of those things that students might need something more individualized, and that can be something like in their classroom rather than in just the whole school system. Another thing is breaks. Students can earn these positive breaks or these breaks by having positive behavior, um, or they can be given a break because they appear to need more time to get themselves ready to be in the classroom. However, these can be easily taken advantage of by students, and they can start out really great and then start taking break after break after break because they don't want to be in the classroom or to avoid work, maybe because it's too hard. Um, and then another one is a token economy. Token economies can prevent problematic behaviors with students when they offer a small, tangible reward that really helps students connect with what they're learning and helps them want to earn that thing. So it could be something that they have a connection with or really love. But when the presence of these behaviors is absent, then the behavior might become better. So, the purpose of this research is to investigate the effect that a token economy has on students' behavior in a fifth grade special education classroom specifically. This is a qualitative study which will compare 7 students' behavior and success in a special education classroom. And the researchers' hypothesis is that fifth grade students in the special education classroom who partake in a token economy will make improvements in their behavior. So the methods, there are 7 participants. They're all in fifth grade special education. Um, there are 6 boys and 1 girl. 3 of the participants have a behavior goal, and all 7 have academic goals, specifically in reading. They each have a goal. So participant number 1 is a male student with a reading and written language goal. Participant number 2 is a male student with a reading and written language goal as well. Participant number 3 is also a male student with a reading and mathematics goal. Participant number 4 is a girl with only a reading goal. Participant number 5 is a male with a reading, mathematics, written language, and a behavior goal. Participant number 6 is a male with a reading and behavior goal. And participant number 7 also is a male with a reading and behavior goal. So all of these students are in the special education classroom with reading goals as well as others. So this research has some required materials. The second step curriculum is required, as well as the behavior observation sheets, a graphing system, tangible rewards, tokens, and pennies. The procedure, this is a qualitative design. It will be a system of monitoring participants' behavior every 5 minutes, and after every 5 minutes, the amount of tokens that they earned will be tallied. So students can earn tokens if they are presenting positive behavior, and even when they are presenting negative behavior, the researcher will try to encourage positive behavior and give tokens upon tokens so that positive behavior is tried to be reached. When the behavior is presented after the 5 minutes, a plus or a minus will be marked in the monitoring sheet, showing if the student was presenting positive or negative behavior in the 5-minute interval. Students will be given a token, and after they earn 5 tokens, they will be able to earn a penny, which after they earn 5 pennies, then they will be able to earn a tangible reward as a trade-in. And then at the last 5 minutes of each session, students are going to be interviewed. This interview has multiple questions about the student's behavior and their thoughts on their behavior. And then the data will be analyzed, graphed, and looked at to see what difference a token economy is making in the student's behavior. The results showed that the use of a token economy led to more positive behavior. Problematic behaviors presented 30% of the time, with weekly growth that was increased. Participants were aware of their positive and negative behaviors. 93% of the time, participants thought that they were presenting positive behaviors, and those results really matched up with what the researcher saw as well. So here is a little table. Participants, so it says percent of time participant described their behavior to be positive. So participants were asked in the last part of their interview if they thought that they were presenting positive or negative behavior, and most of them thought very highly of their behavior. So participant number 1 said 100% of the time they were presenting positive behavior. Participant 2 and 3 also said 100% of the time. Participant 4, 5, and 6 said 90% of the time they were presenting positive behavior. And participant 7 was the lowest score of 80% of the time. So overall, students really thought that their behavior was pretty positive. And the negative behavior that was being presented, students thought pretty highly of themselves. Let's see. And then when asked if their behavior was impacted based on the token economy, students were either one way or the other. So participant 1 said 10% of the time, yes, my behavior really was impacted by this token economy. Participant number 2 believed that the token economy had nothing to do with their behavior. Participant 3 said 20% of the time, yes, this was helping me. Participant 4 and 5 said 10% of the time. So all of those people thought that they were able to have these good behaviors without the token economy most of the time. However, participant 6 and 7 said 100% of the time, I needed this token economy to help me be successful. And the interesting part is that 6 and 7 were both behavior students. And here's a graph of students. You'll see participant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is right here. You'll see the different colors. It's hard to see some of them because they were right underneath of each other. The students were pretty consistently having good behavior there at the beginning, and for the most part, still at the end, week 4 had a little bit of a decline for participant number 5, but we were still above that 75% of the time. So connections to past research and theory. Past research shows that a significant impact on students' behavior in the classroom aligns with their academic success. So when they are successful in the classroom, they have better behavior and vice versa. Teachers having adequate training in handling problematic behaviors plays a significant role in improving the challenging behaviors. Using reinforcements such as a token economy, which reinforces that positive behavior, can result in an increase in positive behaviors as well. And then the research on a token economy being used in a special education classroom ties in with the past research showing that the use of a positive reinforcement increases those positive behaviors rather than those negative behaviors, because the researcher encouraged positive behaviors in the participants by giving them a token each time they were presenting positive behaviors. And this could be a whole bunch of tokens in a minute's time, and students knew that. Implications. So, for teachers, there was better classroom management, greater academic growth, and a decline in problematic behaviors, creating more time for teachers to teach. For students, there was a greater academic achievement, awareness of their behavior, as well as awareness of their peers' behavior. So accountability was had there. Positive peer responses. Like I said, they were holding each other accountable because they were more aware of their behavior, and they were able to get gaps closed more so than where they were before in their academics. So, for parents, less problematic behavior at home or at school could lead to less problematic behavior at home, although that was not actually looked at in the research. Some limitations and recommendations for future research. So, student attendance is something that made the research a little bit less reliable and could have been better if students were all here every single day. Grade specific participants. So, since this was only fifth grade special education classroom, the results could be different in a lower elementary or upper in middle school and high school. In the fact that there was only 7 participants, this could have led to more information to be had if it were a larger number of students. And then the need of a research assistant to collect data because the researcher was trying to research as well as teach the students. And that kind of got to be a lot at some points. So having someone else to collect the data and be consistent with it would be great for the future. And then here are some references about this research. And that is all I have for you. Thank you for listening to a little bit more about my research in a token economy.